Caroline planned to save up with Max to open a cupcake shop, hoping to finally turn their lives around. Max was working double duty, waitressing at the diner while selling her homemade cupcakes on the side. She brought her latest creation over to Earl for him to try out. Just then, Caroline showed up for her shift. Max said, "You live like 2 blocks away and you are still late." Caroline explained she'd run into a beggar on the way and almost gave him a handout, only to remember she wasn't a rich heiress anymore. She was flat broke. Her father had gone to jail for illegal financing. The crazy part was the beggar ended up giving her a few bucks for encouragement. Only Caroline, Max thought. Caroline was convinced that with her business brain and Max baking magic, they could claw their way out of this dumpster fire. She tried to sell Max on the idea, combine her entrepreneurial hustle with Max's killer cake skills, and they could actually make something of themselves. But Max wasn't buying it. She didn't want the headache. She figured her life was fine just the way it was. That night, used to her fancy king-size bed, Caroline found the living room couch felt like a concrete slab. She couldn't take it anymore and crept into Max's bedroom. Max practically jumped out of her skin, grabbing the knife she kept stashed under her pillow. They just settled down and turned off the light when they heard a noise. Max flicked the light back on to find her ex-boyfriend, the musclehead, standing there. He'd come crawling back, thinking their breakup was just Max blowing off steam. When Beefcake saw the two of them in bed together, he jumped to conclusions, thinking Max had switched teams. Max didn't miss a beat. She told him off in no uncertain terms and kicked him out of her room. The next day, thanking Max for the bed space, Caroline bought her a coffee and mentioned she'd set up a meeting with a potential investor. Caroline headed out to meet the guy, but she took a spill on the way, landing her right in a pile of horse manure. To make matters worse, the water was shut off at their apartment. Max had no choice but to drag Caroline over to their friend Hans' place to get cleaned up. Meanwhile, the investor showed up at the diner and sat down in a booth to sample the cakes. Caroline tried to introduce him to Max, but Max couldn't have cared less. Her only focus was calling Beefcake to get his junk out of her apartment, pronto. Trying to score points, Caroline chirped, "Hey, guess what? I already handled Beefcake for you. Got rid of him." That sent Max over the edge. She felt completely disrespected. Caroline had barged into her personal life without even asking. Max had just been looking forward to giving the jerk a piece of her mind for fun, and now Caroline had ruined it. They stormed outside and had a massive blowout fight. Max snapped at Caroline, "Don't you dare try to use my skills and some shady illegal financing scheme to make your big comeback, or you'll wind up exactly like your father, behind bars." Caroline, deeply stung, shot back that she was moving out right then and there, and they were finished. Done. That night Max was sound asleep when Caroline stumbled back in, drunk. She slurred out an apology, admitting she was wrong, and begged Max to forgive her. The next day, Max brought Caroline some juice. They started crunching the numbers on how much it would actually cost to open their cupcake shop. Caroline got all excited and blurted out $250,000. Max just gave a weary, knowing smile. And just like that, their penny-pinching mission began. Catch you next time.